just a game, it's not a war.
Scholes in the 6-yard area, 5 behind. James gets there just first. Cantona!
It was the culmination of the comeback of Eric Cantona, a marvellous cup final goal, and the famous Frenchman lifted the trophy as Manchester United's club captain. Unimaginable 1 year earlier.
Cantona leapt with both feet into the front row and physically struck the fan who hit back. Cantona threw a punch. The stewards are involved now. The police are there as well. Frankly, I've never seen anything like it. And from Cantona, whatever the provocation, conduct like that is unacceptable and a disgrace.
Good evening. Eric Cantona has been officially charged by the Football Association with misconduct and bringing the game into disrepute.
He will not play for the first team for the rest of the season. The French soccer authorities have indicated his international career as their captain may be at an end.
The Commission have decided that Eric Cantona should be suspended forthwith from all football activities up to and including the 30th of September 1995.
What he did, you know, we don't condone, but we punished him. And then the Football Association saw fit to punish him some more. And then they even threatened to send him to jail. And at the end of the day, we hope that it's all been resolved. He's paid his penalty.
It was the most shocking incident I've probably seen in football. I was completely astonished by it. I've never seen anything quite like it before. And I thought possibly he might get suspended for good. I thought that might be the end of his career. And if it wasn't, I thought it'd be the end of his career in English football. I think it shocked the whole football world.
By the time he starts again in October, he'll have been out of the game for 9 months. And I think that's enough of a punishment. And I hope when he comes back, I know that he's big enough to be able to handle it. And I would have hated to think that maybe he was somewhere else and not playing in this country.
Eric Cantona, il est un ange, il est un mélange insolite et rare. Il a la tendresse de Mireille Mathieu. Il est un peu comme Giresse, il a la poitrine de Gérard Depardieu. J'ai des oula la 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 la. Merci France pour Eric Cantona. Il a la gravité de Monsieur Mitterrand. Il a la sûreté et grande du Mont Blanc.
All eyes were on Eric at Wembley. Alex Ferguson praised Cantona's demeanour during the season, and for his part, Eric had stated he wanted to win the cup for the manager who had backed him, not sacked him.
Merci France pour Eric Cantona. Ouais, c'est vrai, pour un temps, Monaco, ils avaient Glenn Hoddle. Ouais, je sais, pour quelques saisons, Marseille, ils avaient Chris Waddle. Mais en Angleterre, on n'a qu'un Français.
Come Wembley, the British press had themselves turned about face when it came to Eric Cantona. The Seagulls were now fully paid-up members of his fan club.
When the Seagulls follow the trail, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea.
Cantona, Cantona, dans son équipe, tous les Anglais, ils disent oula, c'est la bonne tripe.
Eric Cantona has confirmed that he is staying in England with Manchester United and has signed a contract with the club for another 3 years. At a news conference this morning, it emerged that he had turned down a better offer from the Italian club Inter Milan. There was no more talk of sardines and seagulls.
I stay because Manchester United is the biggest club in England and maybe in Europe, maybe in the world. And I'm very pleased to have the opportunity in the next 3 years to win again many trophies.
In the cup run especially, he just came up with that knack of scoring vital goals at the right moment. And at one stage, they were just totally reliant on Eric's goals really for winning matches when no one else seemed to be able to come up with the goods. He was the man of the moment, and really the cup run was really mainly down to Eric Cantona.
The Cantona Cup run began at home to Sunderland. The fear since Eric returned to action had been that opposing fans or players would provoke him into violence. Instead, the third round provided the launch pad for his rehabilitation.
Some 8,000 Sunderland supporters allowed in to Old Trafford for this third round tie, creating a terrific atmosphere. Sunderland in their change strip of all yellow. Giggs, nicely found by Cole. Here's Keane. But Giggs, Beckham, Owen linking up as well. Now Cantona. But Cole, the movement is good. Nicky Butt! 1-0 to Manchester United. Patient play from the home side. Maybe in the end lulling Sunderland into a sense of false security. But they worked for the opening. Butt had several involvements in the move. And finally ran in on the blind side of Kubicki and looped it over Chamberlain. Sunderland have been making the chances, but Manchester United have taken theirs here and they lead through Nicky Butt. Now trying to craft something this time. Cole leaping. Cantona. That's outrageous. It was offside. Well, it's things that players usually only do in training, and then they often get a flea in the ear from the coach for trying it, but it's so nearly put Roy Keane in. Putting one foot round the back of the other. The art form of football, etched by Eric Cantona. He's shown such commendable restraint since his comeback. Times give the impression of playing within himself, but that's probably because he's not rushing around getting embroiled in arguments all the time. Michael Gray getting the better of Sharp. He'll pass it now, and he has done for Agnew. The shot is on. And it's in! Pilkington flung himself to his left, but couldn't reach it. Sunderland are level. More brave defending from Ward. Agnew, no offside. Craig Russell, the ball wouldn't quite come down quickly enough for him. Russell shot! Russell's goal! It's turned round here with a vengeance. Enthusiasm taken by Sharp, and Eric Cantona has equalised. Just over 10 minutes to go. 2-2. Sharp's free kick, and Cantona got free. Chamberlain got to it but couldn't keep it out. Well, Eric Cantona has come up with a critical goal here that might just keep Manchester United in the FA Cup. Well, Eric Cantona, who didn't past the third round last season for well-documented reasons, has kept Manchester United in the cup.
I mean, I wouldn't imagine for one moment in French football he used to take those positions up. But he's realised that in English football, hanging around the far post area can bring you a lot of success and a lot of goals. And he's done that. He gets that little position at the far post. He lets defenders drift in towards the ball, but he keeps his position. And as you've seen, so many occasions, he gets that vital goal at the far post.
The Roker Park Boo Boys were out in force for the third round replay. Eric had his quietest game of the cup run, but the class was still there for all to see.
Gray on the chest. Smith. Michael Gray. And Sunderland have taken the lead. Phil Gray got to the loose ball.
Well, he just reacted quicker than anyone else. I don't think it was a deliberate pass through to him. It was just poked through a little bit aimlessly. But I'll tell you what, Gray was quick onto it.
Brace well.
see a little more of Cantona, almost from the moment we were talking about him being on the fringe of things.
Cantona. It's time for Manchester United to show what they're made of here. They've got 95 minutes. Cantona. Here's Philip Neville. The more Manchester United have the ball, the more you feel they must manufacture something. Gary Neville. Philip Neville can turn. It's turning out to be a siege on the Sunderland goal. Scholes! Well, the goal was coming, and Paul Scholes has stepped from the bench to provide it. 1-1 at Roker Park.
Well, it's been on the cards from the 46th minute of this match. Scholes gets himself in a great position. Lots of speed. Watch the way he just jinks inside, and it's a lovely shot. That's a beautifully struck shot. Across the goalkeeper and into the bottom corner.
saved again by Irwin. That was Sharp, who'd taken the corner. Andy Cole! Great on cue. Manchester United believe that they're in the fourth round. And worst of all for Sunderland is that it's the player who spent so many profitable months at Newcastle United, their deadly rivals, who scored here for Manchester United. And it's Sunderland 1, Manchester United 2. Andy Cole.
This is a magnificent header. At the end of a great cross from Sharp. Sharp's got great quality. Cole's right on the borderline of being offside, but he isn't. And this isn't an easy chance. He's got to direct it. He's got to power it. He does all that in the last minute of the match. It's an unsavable header. It's a wonderful goal. It's a match winner for Manchester United.
Heads it back in. Melville is there. But Manchester United are there. And Andy Cole back in the northeast in the grand manner.
And people were saying that the team was full of too many youngsters. They could never win anything with a team so young. And they weren't destined for anything at all. Then he came back and he seemed to transform the whole place. The crowd were expectant, waiting for his arrival back. And I think the players were as well. I think he created the impetus that was needed at that stage of the season, and it was an inspiration to the crowd and players alike.
Now calling for the ball. Spins off A.D. Williams. A support from Irwin, who's joined the attack. Cantona kicks to his right. He's looking left, tries to pick out Cole. And Cantona received a blow to the back of his head. Not to get the Frenchman heated up on such a cold day. He has been watching his temper in the recent months, but never so well. Chilt's missed out, it runs to Cantona. Depth of touches. That's to be done. This is Giggs in towards Cole. Cole. Giggs. That's on towards Sharp. Chilt's almost gave him the ball back. This is Sharp, who's through on goal. Good save by Hammond. Can Giggs squeeze it in? He can. And Manchester United have the lead with 9 minutes to go to half-time. And that all stems from a mistake by Michael Chilts, the Reading left-back, who handed possession back to Manchester United on the edge of the Reading penalty area. Sharp almost found a way through. That's a great stop by Hammond, but it fell invitingly to Ryan Giggs. Hammond almost denied Manchester United a goal, but there was nobody there to pick up the loose ball except Ryan Giggs. Cantona, his best behaviour so far. United leading 1-0. Cantona. Oh, that's a great reverse pass to pick out Parker. And Parker tries to squeeze one in, and he's scored! Well, while everyone was waiting for the cross, including Nicky Hammond, Parker fired the ball in from outside the penalty area. He doesn't score many goals, but that one could be crucial, and it could send Manchester United into the 5th round of the FA Cup. Well, you'd have put your money on a cross here, but Parker went for goal and was rewarded by an accurate shot. Maybe that has to go down as a goalkeeping error against Nicky Hammond. Either way, United lead 2-0. Cantona is onside. No. Once again, the linesman's flag was a little bit late. No, not me. No one can mistake the number 7 of Manchester United, that's for sure. Cantona. Despite being booed by the Reading fans, his behaviour has been impeccable so far. It's the side, Holsgrove. Surely this is number 3. Sharp, Cantona, and it is 3. What did you say, boys? They've been taunting him all afternoon, and Eric Cantona gives the perfect reply, but Nicky Butt was the architect-in-chief of the United goal. His forceful run into the Reading penalty area enabled Cantona to score the 3rd goal of the match for Manchester United and put the final gloss on this impressive United victory. But cut the ball back delightfully, and although Sharp couldn't finish, Eric Cantona, number 7, could. And United are through to round 5. Nicky Butt set up goal number 3 for Manchester United in the 90th minute for Eric Cantona. United played ever so well given the conditions, given this hostile environment, and the final score is Reading 0, Manchester United 3.
Once he did stay, I thought he would get his act together, but for one horrible moment in the Man City game, I thought it was all going to go wrong. Because the first challenge was a little over the top, although he made contact with the ball, it was a little over the top. And then the second reaction, where he actually stamped on the guy's leg, I thought for one horrible moment it's all going to go wrong again. And really, to be honest, the referee should have shown him the red card. He got away with it. And actually, later on in the game, he actually learned his lesson from that, because I think you saw him later on acting as a peacemaker in an incident that could have turned very, very nasty.
Manchester City get the 132nd Manchester derby underway. It's the 5th meeting of these two teams in the FA Cup. 2 each is the record. Manchester City won the first 2, United the most recent 2. Gets that throw in back, initially from Keane, now from Cantona. And in an ear-splitting, deafening atmosphere, it's going to be competitive and tough. Here's Summerby. Fancy trip by Roy Keane. And Keane is going to be booked after just 3 minutes of the match. Cantona appeals on behalf of the Irishman. But for a player who has had more than his share of disciplinary problems, to get a yellow card so early in the game really puts him under pressure. Got away from Brown. then crashing into Kinkladze. Well, Butters only just come back after suspension, and Roy Keane, who remember has already got a yellow card to his name, has unnecessarily got involved, and Niall Quinn came in to sort out as well, and now Alan Wilkie is having to pull players apart from each other in just the sort of scenario that everyone would have wanted to avoid in this match. The angle of tough competitiveness had been played down in the lead up to the game. Kinkladze gets it through, and a chance on here for Uwe Rosler, and City have taken the lead. Gradually slowing down the tempo, more patient build-up now from United. This is Cantona. He's suddenly got a spring in his step.
Eric, I love you. Won't you come to my arms? Surround me with all your Gallic charms. It's way after midnight, and when Manchester
Giggs with a kick. And there's some pushing that time, I think, by Cantona. Or was it the other way? Has he given a penalty here? City are furiously protesting to the referee, but he saw something when Giggs' corner was swung in. Somebody being held, may have been Cantona, and he's awarded Manchester United a grand opportunity to get themselves back into this match. And Eric Cantona, who's normally the epitome of ice coolness in this situation, takes the penalty and scores. And Manchester United are back in the match. Cantona so deliberate with his kick to draw United level, but what about the penalty? Frontsek seems to be the man protesting, and he was the man there involved with Cantona, who seemed to give him the shove. The referee indicated that Frontsek had held Cantona down, and despite the Germans' protests, the spot kick was awarded and delivered with his usual cool fashion. Through. Cole's touch to Sharp, and the goalkeeper had it, lost it. Continuing the run, it's a good break this from United. Sharp! 2-1 to Manchester United. Lee Sharp is the scorer. United finally found their cutting edge. It was Phil Neville who turned up in an advanced position to deliver just the sort of cross that Lee Sharp wanted. Nicely weighted ball through to Neville, delicately pulled back by him for Sharp, and the ball driven through Immel in the Manchester City goal. Beautifully weighted ball from Giggs to the fullback. And Neville showing great awareness there to pick out Lee Sharp. And the final whistle goes, and Manchester United are through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup after a vigorously fought local derby. Alex Ferguson saw his team come from behind after Uwe Rosler's goal, a controversial penalty award for a foul on Cantona. Cantona himself took the spot kick to change the course of the match.
a lot of the French people, from what I can understand, can't understand his success over here because he never really established himself in France. There were too many incidents that affected his career. And they're quite astonished, I think, some of them, how well he's regarded over here. I think the French national manager, for one, thinks English football, suits Eric ideally. There's a space to drop off in that hole behind the strikers that you don't get in continental football or international football.
By the time of the 6th round game against Southampton, Cantona felt he was digging himself out of what he called his deepest ever hole. The club had stood by their man, and now the man would return the favour.
Eric Cantona initiating with that goal, a shift in the balance of power in the Premiership. He's been a real talisman in the cup ties as well. He's never been on the losing side in the FA Cup for Manchester United. And it looked like another big moment for him there. Moncao got back, but Dave Besson played his part. Picked up by Bruce. And on the left this time. The two to try and find on that far side, Cole and Sharp. Ahead of it. Now Cantona. Cole! It's always going to beat Besson's bar. Hopefully. I must say, for a young man who's keeping very calm and looking very accomplished. Quarter possession with Charlton. Cantona gets past Moncao. He can pick out Cole. Can he pick out the back of Besson's net? No, the goalkeeper, who's enjoying a really excellent season. Sharp. Cantona one of two to his left, and further left is Giggs. Phil Neville bursting forward. Another thoughtful touch from him. It's reached Cantona via Cole. Buck has the shot. Body's in the way. It was Withington who got the block. Cantona's back heel. He's free to take a touch or two. And, out of respect for Schmeichel, they try and come up with something else, and Cantona really not told that he could have let it run. Cantona, Cole shoots it set off, and Cole's got it through for Ryan Giggs. Cantona trying to get free in the centre, and here he is with the inevitable outcome. Another vital goal early in a second half on a Monday night for Eric Cantona.
Well, how often is this man going to do this? But what a ball from Cole. Two great passes in this move. Cole's and then this one. He absolutely fizzes it across the danger area. If Richard Hall gets a touch, he's going to concede an own goal. The Giggs just fizzes it across the face of the 6-yard box. If Hall gets it, it's a goal. Well, it's bread and butter for Eric Cantona, this. Simple side foot. We'd never expect him to miss these, and he doesn't.
touch on the ball in this attack, might not get one now. Sharp. Can he get it to Cantona? He does. He's looking for others, including Keane. A brilliant stop by Besson. He got across his line and kept out Keane's header, which was firmly struck.
Well, not only is Roy Keane holding his head, so is Eric Cantona. Just watch the way his brain's sticking over here. Looking. Where's my best option? Where's my best option? That's it. I'll put it on your head and get us in. Well, the killer second goal, Roy. Keane opts for power.
Cantona. Sharp. Cantona again. But Sharp. Cantona and Buck trying to work an opening. Irwin's on the scene. Cantona is free. Oh, that's brilliant. And it's going to lead to a goal knocked in by Sharp from right on the line. It flatters Manchester United. The craft of Cantona to be admired, of course, but Southampton finally sunk in stoppage time.
Yeah, that's a skill again of Cantona. Watch his feet here. You're thinking it touches too much just here and the defender's got a chance, but look at that. And then he doesn't panic, waits. Well, that's simple for Lee Sharp. Game over.
And Lee Sharp, who hasn't had the happiest of 48 hours, gets a goal here right at the end of an FA Cup quarter-final that's been very, very close.
I think it's been closer than the 2-0 suggests.
Eric always struck me as a very deep man, you know, with some very sort of deep emotions sort of simmering away there. Very, very broody. It could become very moody if he didn't play well. He has to be centre stage, Eric, for him to be happy.
Lee Chapman got to know Eric well when Leeds United won the Old League title in 1992. It was Eric's first championship success in England, but not his last. Things never quite worked out for Eric at Leeds, their aerial style of play not suiting his personal skills. Chapman remembers well Eric's early days in the country. There were few signs then of the brilliance that was to excite supporters on both sides of the Pennines.
When Eric arrived at Leeds, I felt very much for him. He didn't speak hardly a word of English, and I'd been in France about 4 years earlier. I played for a French club. So I knew the difficulties he was going through. You know, it wasn't a very enjoyable time for me in France. So I tried to help Eric as much as I could. I mean, I knew fairly basic French, so I could make contact with him, relate to him. And Howard Wilkinson actually, because of that, put us together as rooming partners, and of course because we were playing together as strikers. He would turn up for training on time, do his training, but then leave straight away. He was never one to socialise and to sort of, you know, go off with the players after training and have lunch or whatever. He'd just come in, do his job and go home again. We think he's different because he's French. He doesn't speak very good English, although he's getting a lot better recently. But there's this mystique about him that I think English people love to go for. And even though he's doing nothing in the game, people are still there looking to see what he's capable of. And of course we've seen him capable of some quite brilliant moments. So at Leeds United, never struck me as being captain material. But I think it's it's a bit of a masterstroke really, a great move by Alex Ferguson, because it was a gamble, but Alex knew that it could bring out the best in Eric, and what it has done is made him mature into a very responsible footballer now. And I think he's taken the responsibility very seriously, and I think it's made him a better player.
Cantona both to his left, Cole going through the middle. Held it off well, good ball. Cantona, Giggs! Lovely move from Manchester United. Cantona thinking so quickly to get that ball in with rapidity to Ryan Giggs. And Giggs launched himself at it. Cole did well initially to find Eric Cantona, and while he had the time to hold it up, he saw that the early option was on. Giggs just wide of the mark. Cantona, Beckham has made a great run forward. He has to hold off Burley first, and now he finds Beckham. Cantona charges into the middle to join Cole. Header away by Lee. 10 minutes to go to half-time. No score, it's been very competitive, but to both teams and to the referee's credit, no bookings yet. Hughes is away. Hullet is trying to peel away, and has done, and scores! The Hughes-Hullet combination opens the scoring, and Chelsea are jubilant. Chelsea go into the lead, and the Dutch master marksman has given them that lead. Cantona, off the post! Suddenly out of the blue, Eric Cantona produces the special moment that often leads to Manchester United's success. So often recently he's been responsible for their successes, and he almost pulled them back into this game with that spectacular effort. But Cantona very nearly did this all on his own. Neville's run, and Neville is round Spencer, looking for Cole. Johnson's header, Cantona! It's in! Cantona's header. Cole supplied a finishing touch just for insurance, but Manchester United are back in this semi-final with a shout. It was Phil Neville's cross that teased the Chelsea defence into submission. Cole's presence really worried Johnson, and the flicked header away only found Eric Cantona, whose header was goal bound. Cole made absolutely sure. Keane. Hitchcock in despair. Chelsea in total despair. It was an awful back pass from Craig Burley that has helped Manchester United, who are 1-0 down, to turn this tie around completely. What was Burley thinking of there? He lined it up on a plate, and Beckham accepted the gift so gratefully. Rich rewards for Beckham, who struck the post in the first half, but now hits the net in the second. It was sloppy play from Chelsea. Beckham said thank you very much. And despite Alex Ferguson's team going a goal down, they've turned this one around, and Chelsea suddenly find themselves playing catch-up. Here's the man to help them in their task, it's Hullet! And Schmeichel denies him. Spencer! Good try! And headed off the line by Cantona! Manchester United hold firm against the barrage. Schmeichel stood up initially to Hullet, but Cantona stood in the way of the follow-up effort. Well, Schmeichel has been such a tower of strength all season for United. He denied Hullet, and who would have expected to see Eric Cantona in this position? So grateful he was. Giggs. Cantona. Well, he was looking for the penalty from the challenge of Michael Dewberry, but Stephen Lodge not impressed. Cantona was at full stretch as Dewberry slid in. Cantona. Good run from Cantona. Van Cole. Keane. Good ball swept out to Giggs. And he spotted Eric Cantona! Good save, Cole! Off the line by Myers. Another look at the watch from the referee, and Manchester United are in the FA Cup final for the third year in a row.
He's a sort of role model. I think being around him in training, they see his ability and they try and emulate him. And I think he's a kind of a father figure, especially now he's got the captaincy. I mean, younger players do need guidance, and at the moment, although it's incredible to say this, Eric is probably a role model now for the younger players at Manchester United. At the time of the Crystal Palace incident, the press were asking for his total suspension from football. He should never play again. It was disgraceful. And yet, here we are, he's just been voted Sports Writer Player of the Year. So it has come full circle. And I think a lot of sports writers have seen him, he's paid his dues, he's been punished, and they've seen a better, more complete man come out of that experience. 18 months ago, the prospect of Eric Cantona lifting the cup would have seemed quite incredible to everybody.
I've given it my all this season, said Eric, prior to leading Manchester United out at Wembley. A proud moment for a proud man. A year earlier they said he was worthy of dining with the devil. Now he was shaking hands with royalty. The happiest of happy endings was only 90 minutes away.
And the roll now falls to Eric Cantona. Proud man, I'm sure. David Beckham. David May had to sweat on it a little bit. Nicky Butt, who has a loser's medal last year. Roy Keane. Gary Pallister, whose place was in doubt because of back problems. Andy Cole, who got the nod from the man immediately to his left, right as we look. Young Scholes. Lee Sharp gets in, and so does the other Neville. Haven't I seen you before, the Duke might perhaps be saying to Alec Ferguson. And we wait for the famous Frenchman. More joy yet for the sinner who repenteth. You call. Rarely has so much been asked by so many to 22, and if necessary the substitutes. For the supporters, I suppose, what matters is the result, and today the word result means a win. But the rest of us hoping for something more to grace Wembley and to leave us with a cup final we'll always remember. Away we go. Cole's first touch, John Scales with him. Two arriving in the box, but quite late. Eric Cantona. Cole to Philip Neville. Pallister. David May. The Daisy and Dolly partnership has been broken up. the back. I'm sorry for Steve Bruce, but he does have plenty of medals and not the England cap that he deserved. It's Philip Neville. Bit of an encampment. By Scales. Cantona to Cole. His first attempt he didn't get right, but Cantona setting up the first possible threat. Got up well when Bab didn't, but having trapped it well, he just didn't make any sort of real contact, and he goes. Down, but how he balanced his body to strike it truly through the crowd. Eric Cantona.
The way the season was mapping out, you just expected it of him, didn't you? If anyone was going to turn that final, it was going to be Eric. And to be honest, I don't think there's many players in the English game who could have put that chance away. It came at a very awkward height. He had to back off. He adjusted his body superbly, and it was just a tremendous strike. It is a goal worthy of winning the cup final.
It has been a very long year, but we played very well all the season. It's a great club. We always want to win, so we got everything to win. That's difficult. That's easy, but we are here. We are very proud and very. For everybody.
Thank you very much, Eric. Eric's final duty was to climb the Wembley steps. Steve Bruce insisting that Cantona went up to collect the cup. Said Eric, the French thought I was dead, but we'll see who dies in the end. European club football beckons, and the future looks bright for club and Cantona.
Eric can go from strength to strength. I mean, obviously, you can't get much better than winning the double, but Eric, I think, will probably like to finish his footballing career in England and at Manchester United. I can't see him playing for another English club, that's for certain. And from what I've gathered, I think Eric would like to finish his career in English football, and he's intimated that he might want to become a manager or even a coach. So I think that's very possible. Eric is a highly ambitious man, and I know that the European Cup is a stage he'd like to prove himself on. I mean, the critics are saying that Eric Cantona can't perform at European level, at an international level. And Eric will want to put that right. So next season is a very big season for him. He wants to prove the critics wrong.